Zootopia was released in 2016, produced by Disney Animation and directed by Byron Howard, Rich Moore, and Jared Bush. It tells the story of a city where you can only find animals, and where a small but adorable creature overcomes a million obstacles in its way, created by evil colleagues and her own stupidity, in order to fulfill her dream, become a police officer. Agent Macaw, Shaken Not Stirred, was premiered in 2009, produced by Anima Studios, and directed by Andres Couturier. It tells the story of a city where you can only find animals, and where a small but adorable creature overcomes a million obstacles in its way, created by evil colleagues on her own stupidity in order to fulfill her dream, become a police officer. What? What happened? How is it that a small animated film produced by a little independent Mexican studio ended up being Disney's inspiration to create a multi-million box office success with a budget of over $150 million? How can you tell the same story with 50 times the budget? Well, a story is a story, right? Anybody can think of one. Well, if you think that's the only coincidence, you are wrong. Let's talk about the 9 very curious coincidences between Zootopia and Agent Macaw. Number 1. The dream of both characters is to solve crimes to make the world a better place. Number 2. The main character is quite incredulous and slightly silly, but deep inside, they have a heart of gold. Number 3. Both animals are subjected to the cruelest military training, in which only the strongest will prevail. Of course, both being stupid, neither Agent Macaw nor Zootopia's bunny show enough skill to achieve their dream job. So, number 4. They have to stand being bullied every day, and both get a terrible and embarrassing job that they keep just so they can make it one day to the big leagues. Of course, they always keep their heads up and look for the bright side in every experience. Number 5. The assistant with terrible sense of the humor is a rhinoceros. Number 6. And of course, there must always be a secretary making a mess of things. Number 7. Inside the city, obviously there must be a moment when a secondary character needs the decisive action of a character that is incredibly slow because of its animal nature. In Zootopia, this is done amazingly well with the sloth, and in Agent Macaw, the mole driver takes the place. Number 8. It's a movie that involves secret agents and espionage, so of course the bad guys must be Russian. Or, well, its animal equivalent. And of course, the most Russian evil animal has to be the polar bear. This can be a coincidence, I guess, but 2? The 2 evil muscle men are 2 polar bears? What a coincidence. Number 9. Considering that the bad guys are A, probably Russian, and B, probably evil, it's logical that the only punishment they can infringe is freezing their enemies. Number 10. The press loves the heroes, and they could be worthy participants of any second-rate talk show. Number 11. The characters are kind of different with the notable exception of Yunky. Do you see the resemblance? Not at all, right? Number 12. Continuing with the coincidences, we discovered that it doesn't matter how big and bad the polar bears may seem, the real evil is presented in an immensely small creature that fits in a pocket. Watch how the president in Agent Macaw is announced and how they introduce the villain in Zootopia. There. Let's watch it again. No more comments. Now, the question that comes to mind is, did someone from Disney watch this movie? Or is it nothing but a coincidence? No one can deny Zootopia had a team and budget much higher, and it's quite obvious. But we cannot deny either that both stories are essentially the same. What do you think?